Yeah. Ooh, gotta be my audio. What's up, everybody? It's me, Jum Jumington, former CEO of Jumington Dynamics, broadcasting live from the Jumington Dynamics Auxiliary Hazardous Material Storage Facility somewhere in the world. And hopefully the buffering isn't too bad. It ain't me, so far. My connection says it's good. Oh, no, speak of the devil. No, it says it's fine. Okay. Well, it's probably a combination of things here. Good evening, hope you're feeling better. I am feeling better. I am alive. Holy, bumping into everything over here. I am alive. It was a pretty rough day yesterday for many reasons. I had some medical stuff I had to deal with, not for myself, but for my dear old dad. He's got some problems going on. Some medications need tweaking, and you know, when you're 76 and the medications you've been on for years start causing you problems, like out of nowhere, like this stuff's pretty concerning, because so many of the symptoms that can come up from that are like, okay, this could be a side effect of the medication. You're on 8 different medications. But it could also be these other very serious things. So it was a late night into a very early morning, a rushed early morning, into a whole lot of running around and panic, and it's all just a bad combination. By the time I got back to the stream closet, was like, I am not in any mood for this. My head is pounding. I feel exhausted. And imagine going into a Mega Man game like that, and just like the first loss, I'd be like, all right, well, stream's over. I'll see you later. I'm like, I don't want to do this. There have been times where I've come into a stream and I'm like, maybe I should have just rescheduled. I don't feel great. And after like 10-20 minutes, I'm like, I feel better now. But like last night wasn't going to be one of those. Me buffer so far. Yeah. Well, as soon as I said that, I looked down at my connection. I think they came out and replaced the cable after like a year. They didn't do anything about the main hookup, so like the problem's definitely not going to get fixed. These ISPs want all of your money and they don't want to do any of the work. I swear. Last time I saw an internet connection with so many issues, I was reading Sky's Discord. Welcome to American ISPs for Henmo. I don't know what it's like in up in the Great White North, but I imagine it's better. you'd be pretty far pressed to get much worse. We have 0 options and they're all bad. All 0 of them. Shouldn't talk too much winter coming in. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I always love when the snowfall hits and like power starts going out because someone drove into a pole, because everyone forgets how to drive in snow. It's awful. But nothing yet, just rain. Well, I hope everybody else is doing well as can be. I think I had anything else. Let's go into this like, I can't wait to talk about this and not forget about it. Because it's not that big of a thing. Oh boy. All right. Well, tonight we're going to be checking out the excavation of Hob's Barrow. Freezing rain hits, and then good luck with electricity. Electricity could take weeks. We've gotten that a couple times here. Not too much. Now, last winter destroyed my the water pump in my car, so that was a fun expense. Because I'm not fortunate enough to have a garage to park in. It's all street parking. And when those deep negatives temperatures roll in, whew, good night. Okay. Let me pop this open and head over to the game. We'll just get right into this. Woo. Live in a rural area? Not that rural. Okay, there we go. Oh, it takes a while to hook into it. It's not as rural as my description may lead you to believe, but it's also not like, it's a small town, pretty much. They're kind of on the outskirts of it, but it's not any worse like the deeper into the town you get. It's just that, nobody wants to put the money up into, I'll say this, like, usually our power issues get fixed relatively quickly, right? And the power grid's relatively stable. It's just that the ISPs, like, our choices are cable or DSL, and DSL is hot garbage. The company that was running it sold their operation in the entire state to another company that just doesn't care. Ooh, hey. Easy now, game. And so we're stuck with cable, and they really aren't doing much. I get there's like 3 different ISPs who claim they're putting fiber in the area, and they've claimed this for the past 5 years, and I haven't seen like anything. I think the only way you'd find it is if you get to the newest McMansion developments in the area. They may have fiber there, because that's the thing. Nobody wants to put the money up. Nobody wants to put the money up to actually run the infrastructure to do it. And even when there are like tax-based incentives or subsidies or anything like that for ISPs, like, they'll take that money, but they won't do anything with it. They'll just sit on it because there's no teeth to any of that. So they could just keep collecting that money in perpetuity and then not do anything with it and be like, oh no, we tried, but it's too hard. It's like, well, how much fiber did you lay out? Not like a foot. We put a foot down and realized it was tough and said, no, can we have some more money? And that's basically the US in most areas. I know cities are like better and worse for that. Better in the sense that they have a lot of infrastructure that would make it easier to route fiber because it wouldn't require a lot of driving. But then you've got to tangle with a lot of regulatory stuff, and sometimes the pipes are too full. And if you do have to run new stuff, that's not very easy. Where I'm at, they would just do a lot of digging. Nobody wants to do that. In a small town, internet was terrible. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, this is like a lot of the country is like this, right? Like, this isn't where I'm at, but I read this story on the internet. I'm gonna pull this up real quick here. Let me just drag a window down here so I'm not looking up weird. So I don't know how much you all know about the effective monopoly that a lot of municipalities give to cable companies. And essentially, cable companies are allowed to act as a monopoly, like a sole provider, with no competition in areas, and effectively run out any form of competition for cable because they are paying a franchise fee to local governments. It's usually like city based, but I think a lot of stuff comes from the state level, right? And this franchise fee is a tax that is paid. You pay it. You, the customer, pay this franchise fee. I should add. I think I watched something and an item ruins everything. Yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad. They just pass the franchise fee directly onto the consumer. I don't have the numbers, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that they add a little bit more on the top because we got to administer this fee now. So they're still making money off of that. So you pay this franchise fee, which they then pay to local governments in exchange for the ability to operate as basically a monopoly. And the problem happens when people start cutting the cords, right? People start canceling their cable. All right, they move to streaming services, they move to other stuff. They probably still have cable internet, but they're not paying for cable TV, and you're not charged a franchise fee on cable internet, right? And this is in 2020 for Indiana cities. Indiana, great state. Sorry if you live there, if I'm trashing your state. It's not one of the best. I hate to say it. For Indiana cities, including Valparaiso, sued Netflix and other streaming services for allegedly not paying municipal franchise fees. Valparaiso, Indianapolis, Fishers, Evansville, Valparaiso, New Boston, Texas. Apparently also did this. Cities claim that streaming services should pay a 5% franchise fee of their gross revenue. They argued that governments are losing out on tax revenue because streaming services deliver content directly to consumers, bypassing the middleman. Okay, but the middleman there is the ISP. Netflix is not delivering content directly to you, right? Any more than someone who sends you a postcard in the mail is delivering it directly to you. It's going through the post office, right? If somebody makes a phone call, it's going through a telecommunication company's services. All of these streaming services are going through an ISP, which they have fought tooth and nail to not have it declared a common carrier, because the ISPs want to be able to play all kinds of games with bandwidth and charging companies to get stuff to you and setting things up to favor their own content. A lot of shady business, right? So their argument is that like streaming services are a common carrier and they're delivering content direct to the consumer and they should pay this franchise fee. Why isn't the ISP being charged that franchise fee? They're carrying it, right? AMC is not paying a franchise fee, but the cable company that carries AMC, if you pay for cable, is getting that franchise fee and delivering it to the government. What they're saying is that AMC should be paying that franchise fee because by their logic, AMC is directly targeting the consumers, delivering directly to the consumer without going through middleman. Never mind the actual middleman they have to go through. And the streaming services filed a motion to dismiss in 2022. Trial judge denied that. The state passed a law that excluded streaming from the definition of video service in the State Video Service Franchise Act. Which I think might close that off, but I may be misreading that. It may be the opposite. But that is like absolute like brain dead. I'm already getting the chat disconnected, reconnected. Why? Yeah. So that's my rant. Sorry if you didn't come for that. I always got to get some kind of rant in here. Rant about a lot of stuff. It's maddening to me, infuriating to me reading that story. And it's like, no, none of those streaming services are delivering direct to the consumer. They all have to go through an ISP. Last I checked, Netflix does not have an ISP. So where's that definition? Well, the problem is they can't say that ISPs are the common carrier because then they would be regulated as such. And ISPs don't want that. Hey, all people are cutting off the cable because cable is getting too expensive. Who should we go to that money? And that's a problem with a lot of taxes like that. Like, I agree, you may not, and that is your prerogative. I agree that taxes on cigarettes, there should be a tax on cigarettes collected that goes to pay for, because I believe Indiana does this as well. They tax cigarettes, and that tax goes into pay for their state-run healthcare program. Whether or not it's actually very good, I don't know. But I also think it's very short-sighted because you're encouraging people to live healthier, which means your tax revenue is going to go down over time as more and more people quit smoking, hopefully. And where's your plan to make up for that? Initially it's like, well, people who smoke tend to have more health issues, right? And so it's like paying for insurance. If you pay for private insurance, you are going to pay more if you are a smoker because you're a more at-risk individual. But if you structure your payment system such that those taxes pay for everybody and suddenly those taxes are gone, where are you going to go? And it's the same thing if you're collecting these franchise fees off of a service that you're doing nothing to prevent the price from going up to a point where consumers can no longer afford it or no longer wish to pay for it. You're just going to keep collecting that tax until one day it's gone. Well, what are you spending that tax on? Suddenly you're not going to have that money. What is your plan? And if your best plan is to sue somebody like Netflix, you should be, if you should be fired. You should be fired. It's ridiculous. My view. I think that the better choice, which may not be better for consumers, but at least it makes sense from legal grounds, is that they should be requiring that same cable company to collect that franchise fee for internet access. But they won't. They won't. The cable, and even if they took that fee out, the cable company would still charge it. Verizon tried this. They repealed a tax that was set up to fund, I believe, the Spanish-American War, which was originally instituted for telegrams, right? That's how old it is. I may be a little bit off base on this, but it was a very old tax that was no longer really necessary for the purpose it was passed for. And it equated to, like, let's say 50 cents on your Verizon phone bill, right? And the government repealed it and said, hey, we're not collecting this tax anymore. And Verizon sent this letter out that said, hey, they repealed this so that your bill's going to go down 50 cents because we're no longer collecting this tax. And then the next paragraph is, we are also at this time announcing that we have to add on this 50-cent fee to recover regulatory stuff. And it was like the exact same amount. It's like, how blatant do you need to make it that you just want to keep pocketing that money? And there was a lot of fervor, and they backed off on that for maybe a year before they added it back in. Which is another whole nother avenue that they consistently fight against, being forced to show the fees you're going to pay when you try and sign up for these services, and they give you a price. Oh, it's $50. It's like, no, it's $100 because it's $50 in fees, but they don't have to deliver that. They don't have to explain any of that. 50 cents, so damn greedy. Yeah, and it's not even about like the money. 50 cents is like chump change, but it's like, my take on it was less that someone thought this was a great way to make money, is more that somebody realized it would cost them more than 50 cents to stop charging the 50 cents, like we'd have to go in and make changes to the system, and we fire everyone who made it, and that kind of nonsense. Or they're just greedy, or both. I don't know. What's up, Flash? Feeling better? I am feeling better. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling fit as a fiddle, and you know that because I'm here ranting and raving about ISPs and other businesses that make me angry. But we all came here to play this game that is just consistently freaking me out here with some spooky tunes. I want to say right out the gate, tremendous amount of respect for this game. I love to see this. I want to see this in any game that is using a pixelated art style like this. That the game has a native resolution that is the resolution that they drew the game at, if that makes sense. Like a 320 by 240. It's not that, right? But it'd be equivalent to that. And then if you make the window larger, if you go to the settings and change the display size and how it scales it, you have options to scale it. So you can get a nice integer scale and everything looks nice and sharp and pixelated. Or you have different options if you prefer it to be more blurry or whatever. I have any experience with Brightspeed before I swapped. They were awful. Yeah. I've had headaches with every ISP I've dealt with. And now I'm just down to like, there's one that will deliver me speed and like 70% reliability, which is not great. But then there's another one that's like 20% maybe uptime, terrible speed, terrible service, not much cheaper. It's awful. What's up, Reeb? Welcome in. All right. Well, I've been jabbering on about that stuff. Yeah, don't just take my word for it either. Like, look this stuff up. Look up how much money we've thrown one way or the other towards ISPs to actually provide like a fiber rollout and decent internet in this country, and how much that has actually gotten done. It's sickening, absolutely sickening. And I see no signs it's ever going to change, because all that happens every couple of years, they just give him more money with no action taken against, like, why haven't done anything with it? Don't worry about it. Just give us more money. And also regulate us less so that we can be worse. Just, all we got to do is just move down to, like, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and get on their fiber chain. If there's anywhere left there, because all the remote IT workers move there. All right, well, let's get into the game before I go crazy here. Ooh, we got somebody coughing. I want to look at my... Well, there's no like controls, so I'm assuming I'm just clicking everything here. We'll see. It's a nice environment so far. Let me know on the volume if the volume is low or needs to be raised up. I put it at the level that I usually put PC games. In fact, I did see in the settings here. I can adjust this as need be. They were all at the same level anyway, so. Hello there.
Ah, Miss Bateman. Welcome back to Ticehurst House.
Mm.
It's been quite some time.
Man, just out here smoking a pipe in the rain.
Terrible weather this evening, is it not? Nurse Blaketon has had enough of me smoking inside. Makes her cough, you see. A bit of rain won't kill me, will it?
Well, the pipe might.
You mustn't be interested in me nattering on.
Mm-hmm.
Give my regards to your father. Nurse Blaketon is preparing his supper.
Okay.
You look pale, Miss Bateman. Do head inside.
I'd like to. Who knows what's in the pipe? It's just whatever he picked up off the street there. Oh, this looks like an interesting cultivar. Excavation of Hob's Barrow.
Dearest mother.
Yes.
I hope this letter will reach you.
Very nice. You got more to say?
I have spent these
Oh, there we
past
go.
years in torment, trying to piece together what remains of fractured memories. What I am about to recount to you will seem beyond comprehension, but I beg for your patience.
Okay. This is a nice classic, like old school PC game.
I will endeavor to
Graphics
explain
work.
the events that led me to Ticehurst House that night. As far as I can recall, this whole wretched story started with the receipt of a letter from a Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Mr. Shoulder. Gorgeous game theater. I like it. I'm liking it so far. I love the artwork. I love anything that, like, old, like, CGA, EGA, I guess you would call it. Lower graphics mode, low resolution, PC games have, like, a particular look to them. A lot of which, excuse me. I don't know why that takes so long to meet. A lot of which was dependent on a very low available palette that you would only have a handful of colors you could use to display on screen at the same time. And so you had to get real tricky in order to give the illusion of higher color. And that is like a very particular skill set. It's fascinating looking back at like an old King's Quest and seeing how they got these really beautiful looking backgrounds. And then you see the color count and it's like, that's impossible. Like, well, zoom in and see how they dithered here and added this. Very clever work. Oh. That is quite a close up there.
The letter brought me to the isolated village of Bewley, deep in the moors.
You play King's Quest series? Very little. That was a game I did not own, but other people I knew had it, and occasionally when I'd hang out with them, we'd boot it up on the PC. But I didn't get to play much because usually they're like, let me show you this game. You can play for a little bit, and I'd like get like a few minutes maybe, like, oh, I see what's going on here. Like, all right, let me in there. Let me show you how it's done. And then they just continue playing it until eventually it's like, well, I gotta go. The Aeon Flux close-up. I would have lost my mind if a fly flew in that eyeball, if they went straight Aeon Flux. Just remember, a time in school, I found out our state makes it legally required for daily recess. My classmates confronted the teacher, and she didn't care. That sounds legit. That sounds legit. We're bringing up similar concerns to an employer about, mandated break allowances, and just being like, no, that's not true. Like, okay, well, I'm not working here anymore. That guy also refused to pay the water bill, and so if I needed to use the bathroom, I would have to bring in a jug of water from home to fill the tank in the toilet to be able to flush the toilet. That was a great place. Real solid. But what's up, Mr. Vesquiz? Welcome back. Good to see you. Still rocking the Ricardo name, I see. Sounds awful. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad business. In 5th grade, we couldn't enforce the law, just except the teacher was breaking it. Yeah. Unfortunately, like, at that level, you're going to need to bring some concerned parents in on that. But I also imagine, like, depending on how long ago that was, because I think nowadays, like, parents would be, like, possibly all up on that. It seems like parents are a lot more active and angry at schools now. I don't know from personal experience. It's just kind of the impression I've gotten. But back in my day, parents were like, I don't want to deal with this. You figure it out for yourself. Okay. Bring your own flush of water. It's company policy. Yeah. Well, I eventually he had he got like a water cooler. He had a water cooler in there, and I would just fill the water from that, so that he'd have to pay to have that water pulled in. So, there's some, I guess that maybe this malicious compliance there. I don't even know if I'd call that compliance. It's pretty bad. God, I don't even want to think about it. My mind is going down that road. It's just like, I'm getting angry. Water is so cold. It's called Jerome. Is that a French thing? Is that a French thing for Henmo? You may have to explain. Really tried to told her every detail. Tell her why PE doesn't count, nothing happens, we got no recess. It's nonsense. If you can't pay the water bill, Syracuse needs a bathroom, you were in the right. Yeah. I mean, I worked with like a lot of small businesses, and what I learned was that the way a lot of small businesses keep their operation going is by cutting whatever oddball costs they can cut out. I worked for a business that, and I agree with this, I thought this was like a good sentiment, although it did make my work troubling. He would never buy a new vacuum. He would go to garage sales and buy like the cheapest vacuums he could. And so at any given time, there would be like 3 or 4 vacuums in the back of the business that we'd have to use to clean the store. And like the thing would die, and then I'd just go pick another one out of the pile. But like he kept his business operating in all kinds of economic strife. We kept that going. But then also people didn't want to pay for dumpsters, and so they would drive to apartment complexes in the middle of the night with all the garbage they had stored up in the car over the week and throw it in the dumpster there. And it's like, well, I don't know how much dumpsters cost, but that strikes me as like kind of a bad deal. Oh, yeah, for a guy.
No station master in sight. I hope the village isn't too far away. I can't recall.
I don't think I get it. I don't think I get it.
Mr. Shoulder mentioned it in his letter.
Smooth comment. They'd help him from stopping me from getting jump nightmares. Are they nightmares or are they dreams? They're certainly not prophecies and premonitions, and you should worry not about that. Especially if they are something that may expose terrible deeds that I may be accused of, but will certainly not commit in the future. You don't have to worry about that. I'm totally safe and cool, and you can trust me when I say I'm not conquering anything. Although I would like to tower over the world at some point. I mean, not for anything malicious. It just sounds cool, right? Who would want that? Who would want to tower over the earth? They will soon become nightmares. Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I turned off the red eyes and everything. It's fine. Left click to walk, interact. Right click to examine, access the inventory menu. Move your mouse cursor to the top of the screen. Okay, that's kind of like a clock tower-ish. Left click inventory item is selected. Right click to examine it. Once an inventory item is selected, you can right click to deselect it. Double click on an exit to teleport directly to it. That's nice. Game will occasionally autosave. You can also save anytime via the menu. Map when available. Show interactable hotspots. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see how much I use that. That's a nice function, but it's kind of like, that's cheating. What about ones you're already doing? I see your little Jim. Don't shine the light on my enterprises, Silas. We don't need to get into this. It's fine. It's fine. Shh, don't say nothing. Look, what y'all don't know can't hurt you. Theoretically. In theory. Understood. There's nothing unsavory happening. It's side.
If I take the sign, how would the trains know where to stop?
I hope they need more than a sign to figure it out, but okay. Just hang out in the door. I'm gonna try this. Okay. I can interact with the tracks. There's an exit just there. I don't know. Beyblade. My first thought was Beyblade myself, but that just shows where my mind is, where Brahmo's mind is.
My mother always told me not to walk on railway tracks.
Yeah, mine too. But we did. I'm amazed I didn't get run over.
Hello there. Hello there.
Who's there?
Hello there.
Who's there? Anyone?
Hello. A door of fine construction.
Great.
Bewley, I have great expectations for this, Barrow.
Me too.
I ought to read Mr. Shoulder's letter again. I can't recall the name of our meeting place.
Oh, okay. What we got here? Money?
I have 6 shillings and 2 pence.
I don't know what that means.
Kenneth is bringing more funds tomorrow.
I don't understand the foreign conversions. Okay, so it's not a lot. Okay, that answers that.
A gift from my mother. It bears my initials, TB.
Great. Beyblade, aka eye removers. I thought spinning top. I thought fun time at the Apollo. Yep, that's about right. Dear Miss Baby. I'm impressed with how much voice acting they have in this. But I will say, like, it's kind of rough for smaller game developers because in order to get funding, so many people want to see full voice acting, and that just raises the cost and development time so much. And I don't think a lot of games desperately need it, but like, it is nice. It is nice. I'm not gonna turn it away. It takes place in the Victorian, so it's not a lot, and yet probably worth a decent amount because of inflation. That is true. That is true. It's like I have this problem playing D&D, right? And some NPC will be like, "How much are you gonna give me for this?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't know. Like, put this in like modern dollar terms, could you?" Like, and I said this to someone who ran the game too, and it was like, I really don't, I just need someone to paint this in a picture that's like 1 gold is a lot of money, because to me it's not. As an adventurer. But there have been times where you give someone like 1 gold coin and they're like, "This person is retiring for life." And I'm like, "Really? I got 100 of these things. Why am I not retiring?" What's up, Leather? Welcome in. I am indeed a ghost. I'm trying to not block out everything going on the screen by making my form spectral. Instead of full voice acting, it really enhances the experience. It is really nice so far. voice acting has come a long way. It would have been a nice comparison if I had played Mega Man 8 last night, because the voice acting in that it's something. They are saying retired. They are saying retired, Brenmo. I'm not gonna repeat Blade's. That was the weirdest line in that movie. The Mongols fine-tune paper money more. I just need a conversion note. But that's also hard to do if society is vastly different. If it's like, look, these serfs can't really do much with that money. It's not like they could actually buy land and stuff. Like, oh, okay. Dear Miss Bateman, I write this letter in the hope of piquing your curiosity. I've heard about your expertise in barrows, and if I understand correctly, you are writing a book on them and the treasures they contain. I live in the village of Bewley. She just pronounced it, but I've forgotten. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Bewley, where a most special barrow can be found on the outskirts. It is rectangular in form and is certainly tall enough to stand up in. The place is steeped in local legend, and there is rumor of secrets to be found deep within. I hope you will not misunderstand me and find this letter intrusive. If you wish to visit Bewley and excavate the barrow, I will be pleased to be your guide. Please send your response to the Plough and Furrow Inn. Bewley, I shall await your letter. Yours respectfully, Mr. Leonard Shoulder. Oh, there's more people here. Excellent. Go ahead and go back to Shell so I can be rich. It'd be nice. I'm getting on the jokes tonight. He's not sharing. Yeah, there's some words I'm just not going to say, Pranmo. There's some words I'm just not going to say, no matter how much you try and thrust them out there. I won't get canceled. Gold press latinum. I never understood, like, until I was much older, when I would see in old cartoons if they showed people like biting gold coins, and occasionally they'd find one that like they couldn't bite, and they'd be like, "Oh, my tooth! This one's fake." And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? It's because gold is extremely soft, but if you cast it with like a fake metal and just like gold plated, it'd be much hard. Not the buffering. It's the buffering back. Oh, jeez. I will give it a minute. I think it's. I fear it is the rain. I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago. That's me, all right. We are experiencing buffering. Let me finish reading this, and hopefully we'll catch up. Otherwise, I will give this a minute and try and do something about it. Sometimes stopping and restarting gets it going. Sometimes not. You may be very far back at this point, because my connection is looking rough. Marvelous news. I shall meet you at 8 o'clock in the evening on the 14th of this new month. Hey, that's today. At the Plough and Furrow Inn, Bewley. The inn has fine rooms with you will find adequate for your short stay. When we meet, I shall tell you more of the circumstances surrounding the site, which is referred to locally as Hob's Barrow. It is not located on my own land, but we will have no issue getting permission to excavate. I wish you a safe journey.
I must make my way to the Plough and Furrow Inn.
Okay. We'll do that. Stopped as soon as I said that. All right. I'm just posting a little notice here. Hope if I had muted that. I'm just staring intently at this connection speed. It seems okay. Okay. Well, fingers crossed that this holds. No. It's just tanking out. No, I don't like this. Okay. I'm going to go for more extreme measures. I'm not going to give up on the stream just yet, but this is going to take a minute or two. So I will be back as soon as I am able. Just because sometimes it helps it. Sometimes it helps it. Unless it's going to be okay now. Was the threat of me restarting everything like enough to bring it back? I'll just keep an eye on it. Aggravating. Very aggravating. It's just more like a stability issue. Like, it'll go okay for a while, then we'll flake out. So, like, we're not quite there yet. Okay. Well, I think we're okay for right now. Autosave is probably fine. So hopefully we're okay. It looks like it's holding up at this point. Just a blip, perhaps. Just be here dreaming of my favorite. No. Let's see if we can talk to this woman.
I swear she was not standing there a moment ago.
No, she wasn't. Okay. I'm watching you, Internet.
Excuse me?
Yes?
I'm looking for the Plough and Furrow Inn. Do you know where I can find it?
Ah, young lady. Leave the station and follow the dry stone wall for around half a mile.
Okay.
You'll come to Bewley. Go straight ahead and you'll find the market square. The inn is t'other side at square.
Thank you very much.
All right. So it's Bewley.
What can you tell
Nice
me about
accents.
Bewley?
Well, it used to be a thriving village. Not so much now. I don't spend much time there these days.
Are you local?
Ah, yes, a local I am. But I don't live in the village.
Where are you travelling to today?
That would be none of your business, young lady.
Damn.
Quite. Apologies. I wish you a pleasant journey.
The woman, since we want social interaction, teleported away. I hope that's not the case.
I can't think of anything else to talk about right now.
Okay. What are you doing out here with, like, no umbrella, just, like, sitting in the rain staring at me? That's a little unnerving. Well.
What brings you to Bewley?
Oh, now you want to talk.
I beg your pardon?
What brings you to Bewley, miss?
That'll be none of your business. That's my best move. Tell the truth, I have nothing to hide. So far, I want to say I would love the option that is just none of your damn business. Like, how about a little, like, you know, a little even trade here? You're not going to tell me where you live. Why am I going to tell you anything? But for now, I'm just going to say.
I'm here to visit a local landmark, Hob's Barrow.
Hob's Barrow? Well, I can't say I've heard of it.
Oh, okay.
For what reason?
I wish to excavate it.
Treasure.
Grave robber, are you?
Yes.
Not at all.
No.
I merely have an interest in antiquities.
Not
From a
much to be
grave.
found in Bewley, if you ask me. You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
I'll take my chances.
Can't say I didn't warn you.
I mean, you really didn't.
That was odd.
You gotta at least throw in, like, you're doomed. There's a curse. You'll die here. You know, that's a warning. Just like, hey, don't go there. That's not a warning. That's not a warning. How rude she is to be a good option. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Old ladies condition herself against pneumonia. She's training herself. Like what's his name? Zoro from One Piece. She's training herself for endurance. Exactly, Flash. Exactly. Fancy grave robber? Yes. Yes. It's a slow burn. You got to be patient. I know. I'm just. I've seen so many horror movies where there's some crackpot is like, you're doomed. Like, I expected that. I'm just saying, you can't say you've warned somebody if you haven't given them anything. I like the sound of this, though. This certainly sounds like I'm heading towards a good area. There's nothing but exits. I'm gonna use that option too much, I think. What if I told you nothing about it except I didn't know it? I can't say I didn't warn you. I'm gonna listen to her. Oh, my friend, return. Oh, okay. We have many exits. At least the old man from Thinner was up front when he cursed somebody by rubbing their cheek with his thumb. Yeah. Well, also they ran his wife over, so like, well, he had cause. I have so many exits here. I can exit over here and go to these houses, just random houses.
The old woman told me to go straight ahead to get to
Oh,
the
okay.
inn. I'll have time to explore tomorrow.
Well, I tried. Nah, that's a good movie. Enjoy that movie.
The anvil looks heavy. Beating raw metal into a fine object is an admirable skill. The
Sure is.
blacksmith looks closed.
Sure does. Broom, can I take it?
Bewley to sweep their streets.
I came to clean up the streets
Bucket is
of
rusty
crime.
and full of holes.
It's more than rain. Netrust. I don't blame the game for making go to the end. I know. You know, I'm so used to games like, here's a place you got to go to. We're not going to give you the option. Like, the option just won't present itself, as opposed to like, it's showing me all the things I will be able to look at and to interact with, even though I know I'm not supposed to. But I feel like if I don't try to interact with them, that I am
It's in a shabby state, but the shop appears to be a cobbler's.
okay. I have that fear that like, oh, you were supposed to go there the first time.
The plough
There we
and
go.
furrow. I have a bit of time before Mr. Shoulder arrives. I should inquire about a room.
Oh, drinking man, eh? My kind of people. What's up, Zane? You're pointing clicking the wrong spots. I'm just clicking what they provide me with. Praise for the beginning bit. Alrighty. I like to know what my options are.
The Plough and Furrow Inn. The inn where I am to meet Mr. Shoulder.
Sometimes you get interesting bits of dialogue by looking at stuff. I'm in no particular hurry.
Hello there. What's the young lady doing out alone in this sodden weather?
Hanging the clown furrow. Get out of the way, sir. You're drunk. He is. This is true, but I don't need to be rude. What are you doing out in this weather? I've already had my share of the unfriendly
I'm
local.
headed to the Plough and Furrow.
Bloody good pub, that. It has the finest ales in the whole county. Oh, I'll take you there if you like.
I mean, I'm right there.
I believe we are standing directly in front of it.
Oh, so we are. Please,
This man is going to have some health issues.
give us a kiss now, won't you?
Oh, no. Come on now. Oh, my God. No, sir. I like how... I love that it showed his face just so we really knew what we were working with. We really knew what we were working with there. They left nothing to the imagination. Give him a fist now, won't you? Slap him. I don't need to... Well, maybe I should. I don't know. Humor him. Usually works well with men. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't want to hit him either. Not yet. It may come to that. I'm just going to deflect. We're going to try and be diplomatic
Wouldn't
about
your
this.
wife disapprove?
My wife? Bloody hell, my wife. My tea'll be on the table in this hour, and if I don't get back, she'll be roaring. Until we meet again.
See? Crisis averted.
What a buffoon.
Well, perhaps. A bit uncalled for in this maps. Which I played through the slap and it was fine.
I should speak to the innkeeper about a room.
I want to be the nice person. I want to, get these people on my side. It's not like I thought it would kill him or get like a game over, but I didn't particularly feel up to slapping him. He's just a drunk man, confused. He asked, All right, I'll give him that. He asked. Inappropriate still, but he did not, like, grab at us. I'll save my violence for when it is needed. Lots of dudes. I don't think I want to talk to any of them, though.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lass. How can I help you?
That's a nice collection of plates there. Our room. This isn't the droid you're looking for. Yeah, that's my view. All right, I think I see someone else down the street who'd be interested. Just get him to leave.
Do you know a
Mr.
man
Shoulder.
named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, I know the man.
I'm to meet him here tonight.
Can I get you something to drink while you wait?
Not yet, thank you. I am in need of a room for the night.
Aye, we aren't short of those. One night, is it?
I shall need at least 2 nights, maybe more.
Aye, 'tis not a problem. 3 shilling per night. That includes your dinner and tea.
A fair price.
It's not
I'll
bad.
need that payment up front for the 2 nights.
Okay.
I have 6 shillings and 2 pence.
All right, that's
Assistant Kenneth is bringing more funds tomorrow.
That's
I don't like
half
travelling
my
with too much money
shillings.
on me.
hopefully Kenneth comes through
This is
for us.
payment
We're
for
not
a room.
broke.
Thank you. Can I ask for your name, lass?
Thomasina Bateman.
And will Mr. Bateman be staying with us tonight?
No, I am not wed. My assistant is arriving in Beaulieu tomorrow.
Your assistant, you say? Will you be needing another room?
Please.
I'll keep a room spare. It's not quite as nice as yours, I'm afraid.
Not a problem, sir. I'm sure it will be adequate. Kenneth is a man of inexpensive taste.
We're starting our Victorian OnlyFans for Henmo.
Just go through the door to the right of the bar, then up the stairs. Room number 2.
I'm alright.
Can I help you with your luggage?
No, thank you, sir. I can manage.
Only legs.
I should go upstairs and freshen up before Mr. Shoulder arrives.
More or less.
A lovely place to warm oneself. I don't want to take the painting with me.
Okay.
A pixie-faced peasant boy, painted in a naive style.
Mm-hmm.
A decorative plate. This one depicts a bull. A decorative plate depicting a serpent.
Interesting.
Decorative plate. This one depicts.
Oh, the ankles. It's the devil's joint. Yeah, leg is a bit much. The full leg is way too scandalous.
Time to change into something more comfortable.
That's what I was thinking, Flash. So I was looking at those plates like, oh, we're gonna need to know that. Probably not. I'm outsmarting myself. I'm outthinking the game. I'm getting way ahead of things.
Much better.
There's another plate.
Decorative plate depicting a goat. A painting of surprising quality. It portrays a rocky outcrop overlooking a vast moor. Perhaps a local landmark.
Could be.
The wardrobe looks old, perhaps 100 years or more in age. I've hung my dress inside. Aside from that, the wardrobe is empty.
Some fine vintage furniture.
A jug of water for drinking or washing. I don't wish to carry the bowl around with me.
Has
I
anybody...
stored my case in there. A box within a box.
Indeed.
Complementary matches. Useful.
Excellent.
There's only one match left, though.
Oh, no.
As the only light source in the room, I ought to leave this here.
Yeah.
Jammed shut. The wood must have warped over the years.
I'll be back for you. I'll be back for you. I think when the tenant you went up with the camel. No, Fred, no. Went from matches to chocolate mints. Interesting. Matches were very popular. I think matches only went out of style when smoking inside of premises became more taboo, right? Because, like, you know, a lot of bars and places used to do that. I know, like, smoking friends got really angry when local cigarette shops used to give out free lighters when he bought cartons of cigarettes. And then apparently there's some new regulation told them they were no longer able to do that. And they were so mad. But at the same time, they just had this big baggie full of disposable lighters that never got used. And it's just like such a weird thing to be angry about. But yeah, it's taboo in the thing from Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. I don't know what it has to do with any of this, but I feel satisfied. I got some matches. Yeah, that, like, smoking is bad. It's bad for your health. It's highly addictive. Don't do it. But the things that they come up with, like, what if we got rid of lighters? Like, oh, okay. Every time I think of the blue people. Which blue people? Dabba-dee-dabba-die. Those blue people. Or I think of, I don't know why I thought of my first thought of the blue people was people who were taking colloidal silver. The blue family, is this the same family as people who take the colloidal silver and it turns their skin blue? Or no, I think I know what you're talking about. The Habsburg. Isn't that it?
This painting shows a Rubenesque figure brushing her hair.
Yeah, I think that's
Quite
Habsburgs.
unusual to see such a sensual work in a room like this. A colourful work depicting a bashful knight. It is signed
The
N.
chicken.
Hamley.
And Hamley, eh? Well, let's chat up the locals here a little bit. This guy looks...
Good afternoon, sir.
Note for you here.
I beg your pardon?
I said there's note for you here, lass. Be on your way.
Oh, okay.
Charming.
Fair enough.
Hello, sir.
What?
I'm waiting here for a man named Leonard Shoulder. Do you know him?
I don't. Do you, love?
Never heard of him.
There you have it. Now clear off.
Alrighty.
Hello, sir.
Right,
Do you know a Mr. Leonard Shoulder?
you're not local.
Oh,
You've
boy.
been on that bloody train, haven't you? Bewley's going to dogs.
Damn. Damn. Forget about it. Is it from genetic issues? Because I know there are all people who have blue skin because they were taking silver supplements as a supposed like health thing. I think it was supposed to help with heart conditions, but I don't know if it actually helped. But eventually turns your skin permanently blue. And there ain't no going back, even if you stop taking it. It's too late.
My name is Thomasina Bateman, and you are...
None of your business, lass.
Oh.
Where's your husband?
None of your business, sir.
Ah, you're brave coming in here, all on your own.
I'm a grown woman.
I'm Cyril.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cyril.
We'll be talking to this guy a lot.
Do you know Mr. Shoulder?
That'll be none of your business, lass. I don't come to your city.
Oh, there is. Oh, yeah, I am talking to a lot, I guess.
Man just wants to enjoy his ale in peace.
We'll sacrifice Cyril third. I think we'll be the ones getting. Well, at the very least, like, even if there's nothing imminently sinister going on, they're rather unfriendly. However, that's to me kind of the norm in a small village. Cranky old man, I love him. Well, we'll see how well we get along. So at least he's talking to me. A bit rude, but he's talking to me at least.
I take it you are not enamored with the railway station.
Could be Innsmouth,
Oh,
yeah.
It's gonna be swarming with outsiders like you. We don't want you coming here. It's as simple as that, lass.
Why not?
This is our town, our land.
Well,
I assure you, I am not here to cause trouble.
We'll see about that, won't we?
this is like pretty normal. Yeah, Innsmouth was the one I thought of, but that all comes from like the general kind of xenophobic attitude that a lot of small villages or towns have, right? Like they don't want any outsiders. Yeah, long running traditions. They may not be nefarious, but like they just don't like it. Don't come here. We don't want these outsiders, especially while there's big like societal or industrial change happening, especially dying small towns. Yeah. And they're usually dying because of that, because they're so hostile to outsiders. And a lot of times, like I said, it's tied to like a societal change that they don't, women wearing pants, unheard of kind of thing, which I'm surprised nobody said anything about. Or like, they're bringing in these, industrial weaving machines. I don't like this kind of stuff that usually like, why refuse? We're just not going to change. And then all the young people are like, you know what? I'm out of here. And then no one new comes in and they just slowly fade away. Small towns are growing up for newcomers, but they hate newcomers. Yep. Small town like a few miles from me. Yep. Point, they redirect the highway with most tax revenue away from their town. That doesn't surprise me. So the NPC be warning people too much and get spirited away by the other NPCs. You haven't mentioned anything about the king or any quest to me. I haven't come into stream and gotten a "Hail to thee! What are you buying?" over and over again.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Tell me more.
Proud community. I've lived here my whole life. Not much here to interest folks like you.
Folks like me.
Aye.
Bye for now.
Ta-ra, lass.
A dreadful smell is emanating from the WC.
That stands for water closet. It's the
A
bathroom.
biblical scene of some kind. An angel is depicted looking longingly to the heavens.
Delightful. It does. I'm enjoying the accent and the voice work on this is very nice. Very nice. I'll do everyone out from there. Yeah. Pretty typical. Pretty typical. For very, very small areas, very old areas. This music is definitely like puts me like on edge, like an Innsmouth situation, like what are you weirdos hiding? But so far they just seem like the
innkeeper is a serious looking man.
Normal kind of like, we don't want you here.
Good day, sir.
I was talking about your accent for Henmo.
Miss Bateman, you've transformed.
I feel far more comfortable in my outdoor clothing.
You look like one of those explorers you see in the newspaper.
I guess you could call me an explorer of sorts.
I'm Stanley Kemp.
A pleasure to meet you, Stanley.
And tell me, I trust your room is adequate.
Most adequate.
Excellent.
Are you talking about your Honda accent? Or is it the Hyundai accent? I forget. I think it's a Hyundai accent. We're making some money from people staying, so yeah. That is like, there's an odd balance there, a precarious balance anywhere in the world that relies on tourist money. That can topple very quickly if tourists start becoming like, if an attitude starts brewing of people disliking tourists, but like the only money coming into the area is tourism. But then they also hate the tourists. So there's like specific areas where they're like tightly reined in, like tourists should be here. We can't tell them they can't go over there, but we don't want them over there. Keep them in this area. Keep them wrangled here. Because we don't really want them here. We just want their money. And I can understand that. The Sentra. Thought you were making a joke with the accent. Probably just whooshed over my head. A lot of places learned during COVID and afterwards when they came back. Yeah. Like there are a lot of places that saw their revenue from tourism go way down. Really hurting, but saw their peace of mind, so to speak, day-to-day basis going up from not having to deal with it. I'm in a touristy place in the city anyway because of how they hog the sidewalks. Yep. Yeah, I mean there's good tourism and bad tourism, and a lot of bad tourism just centers around like just not it's not even like, well, they don't respect the local traditions. It's like you wouldn't act this way at home at all. Like the rules still apply here. Like you still can be a decent human being, but it's like I'm on vacation from my home and my morality. And I brought my $5 here, and they better dance for it, is the impression that I get. No wonder they're not popular. And then it sucks, because if you go somewhere, and you're just trying to, like, blend in, and, like, I just want to see the sights and not cause trouble, and they're like, you're one of them! Rawr! So we're doing festivals and football games because the city makes small sidewalks. Yeah. We only have like one, like the downtown area is like foot traffic friendly, and like nothing else in this town is foot traffic friendly. They did put in bike lanes, but there's still a lot of areas without any sidewalks. It's very infuriating. Johnny Smalley, yeah. What I miss, we're just chatting with the locals. They're somewhat unfriendly, talking about like areas' attitudes, tourist supported areas' attitudes towards tourists, which are largely justified, but like then you become reliant on them financially. But the people who aren't involved, who don't directly benefit from that, who aren't running like a business that caters to tourists, are just like extremely hostile to tourists for understandable reasons. Just the opportunity of your life. Got this new coin NFT on the blockchain. Oh my god. Oh my god. No crypto scams here, Permhenmo. Don't make me add more rules to my list here. Has Mr. Shoulder arrived yet?
Has Mr. Shoulder arrived yet?
Still haven't seen head nor tail of him, Miss Bateman.
Slime coin. I lost my interest in cryptocurrencies very quickly because this is so like I have a lot of problems with crypto stuff. I'm not going to get into that, but when I first learned about it, they would have a picture of like an actual coin, and I was like, oh, so like what is it like? And this was years ago, but like, is it like a coin with like a NFC chip in it or something? And like, no, there's no actual coins. That's just like a rendering they show. Like, so there's no physical coins involved with this. Well, then I don't care. I learned more about it and then made my decision. But also, anytime I see like any mention of like X coin, insert whatever coin, I'm like, if it was an actual coin, I might be interested. Just because I like that stuff. But like, otherwise, no. Big crypto guy got raided by the police for defrauding his customers. Oh yeah. And Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, or KSI, you can trust us. No. Regulation helps to not get scammed. Who knew? Not buying in NFTs or crypto. It's on a coin where we're totally not gonna rug pull. Leave while promoting it. That's all that stuff is. That's why I can't get behind any of it. Anytime I try and anytime I see stuff that's like, no, like this has actual use and value, it's like, no, it's all rug pulls. It's all bag holders. It's all scam. You can find that information all over other places. I don't need a second, if not third rant this evening. Kind of shocking watching it from the supermarket parking lot with his apartment across the street. What happened in the days people just got busted for like being a drug dealer, you know? Now I get you just made crime more complicated. Go back to selling counterfeit Gucci products, you know what I'm saying? I've got me some hot chocolate and just watch the show out the window. Yeah, you gotta, you know, take your enjoyment where you can find it. You gotta get your entertainment where it presents. We're getting busted for now. Crypto scams, cults, Grand Theft Auto, I guess. We'll put that in there. Fruit punch. Grave robbing. Oh yeah, grave robbing. We haven't gotten to that yet, but we're getting there. You know you're a grave robber when someone says, so you're a grave robber, and you're like, no. I'm a archaeologist. I deal in antiquities, blibbity blobbity. Like, you rob graves. You can fancy it up all you want. You're robbing graves. It doesn't count as a grave robbery if the graves are old enough. That's all I'm hearing.
What can you tell me about Mr. Shoulder?
Aye, he's a quiet fellow. He only comes here to check his
Just like in Skyrim.
post.
Exactly.
Yes, I've been corresponding with him using this address.
Have you now? You found yourself an admirer.
Not quite.
What business do you have with old Leonard then?
I have nothing to hide. So far. The idea that I might not trust them implies that I am here to rob graves. I'm a legit
Well,
antiquarian here.
I am what some people call a barrow digger.
A what?
A barrow digger.
Grave robber.
What in God's name is that?
Are you familiar with tumuli?
Afraid not.
Barrow is another word for tumulus, or tumuli in the plural.
Ah,
A
yes.
profoundly interesting subject.
You've lost me.
I excavate ancient burial sites looking for relics. A barrow is traditionally a circular mound of raised earth enclosing a burial chamber.
Oh, aye. You're a grave robber.
Yep.
I am no such thing.
Don't worry, lass. I've met all sorts in here over the years. I won't tell anyone.
I assure you, my goal is more noble than petty grave robbery.
Your grave robbing
Relics do you
secrets are
find?
safe with me.
Gold, silver, bones.
Well, rarely gold
Precious
or silver,
bones.
but treasures certainly. Ancient pottery is the most common find. I've been excavating barrows all over the country. I'm documenting my findings in preparation for my book. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England.
Oh, aye.
Oh, it just rolls
Very
off the tongue.
interesting. But what does old Leonard have to do with this?
He sent me a letter in which he told me about an unusual barrow in Bewley, a site called Hob's Barrow. I'm meeting him here this evening to find out more.
I've lived here nigh on my whole life, and I've heard nought about a Hob's Barrow.
She's grave robbing in her own country and like some of her fellow countrymen from the area. Yeah. Well, that was my sentiment from Scratches. That so much of Scratches was just like, I stole some artifacts from Africa. Like, oh boy. The mummy hunters. Yes. See, I will. She's an archaeologist, essentially. What she talks about as treasures, well, she should stop referring to them as treasure, right? Historical artifacts is how she should call it. Because when you say, I dig up treasures, everyone's going to hear the same thing. If you're like, oh, it has no financial value, it has no monetary worth. It's purely of historical value. People might look at you a little bit more favorably, but certainly not get interested. You save the treasure talk when you need somebody to fund your digs. You tell them there's treasure involved. Not necessarily that they'll get it, but you gotta wet their whistle a little bit with that. When you talk to everyday folk, you make it as boring as possible. Otherwise, they'll show up in the night and try and steal your treasures, and then they'll put a bunch of old stuff that they don't know the value of, that they can't sell at a pawn shop, and then they'll just end up destroying it. Like, this old pot is worthless. This old paper, I can't read it. Burn it. Bewley, Hob's Barrow. He doesn't know anything about it. Who's Stanley
Tell me
Kemp?
about yourself, Mr. Kemp.
Well, he's Stanley Kemp.
I've been the proprietor of this inn for the last 16 years.
So I'm gonna say
I
who.
worked as a drover all over the country in my younger days. Saved up my coin and bought this place.
It's a fine inn.
Thank you.
That's not a bad idea.
Sort of ale, but my rooms are rarely full. We don't get many outsiders wanting to stay overnight here in Bewley.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Aye, it's a quiet place. People keep to themselves, work hard.
I look forward to
They work
exploring the
hard
village
and they
tomorrow.
play hard.
There's not a lot to see, lass. But St. Edmund's Church is a fine building, worth a visit.
Are you sure you've never heard of Hobbs Barrow?
Not in my life, lass, but I'll tell you something. The moors stretch further than the eyes can see once you leave this village. There's no doubt many a discovery to be made.
Mr. Shoulder said the Barrow is well known locally, a place of legend.
I'm afraid you're going to have to speak to him about it. Why are you interested in digging around in the dirt, lass? Haven't you better things to do with your time?
I
No.
enjoy nothing more than the thrill of discovery, uncovering the past and piecing together our history. I inherited this passion from my father.
Oh, a barrow digger too, eh?
Indeed. He would take me with him on excavations as a child.
Does he still come with you now, on your own adventures?
I'm afraid my father's been bedbound by illness for many years.
Oh.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that, lass.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp. He is well looked after at a private hospital. Thanks for your time.
As you were.
Mr. Shoulder should really be here by now. I'll sit down and wait.
The waiting begins.
Where on earth is he? What a waste of time this is turning out to be.
With all the colorful characters you've met? Mr. Shoulder got nabbed by a Draugr.
Not you again.
I just wanted to apologise for earlier. I got home, had my tea, but it gave me an aching belly.
How so?
I felt bad for how I spoke to you. I'm sorry. The drink gets a hold
See?
of me.
I'm glad I didn't slap him.
Let's start again, shall we?
My name is Arthur Tillett.
Thomasina Bateman.
What brings you to Bewley, anyway?
I'm here to meet someone, but he has not arrived.
His loss, if you ask me.
Perhaps you know the gentleman, Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, I know Mr. Shoulder all right. If I may be so bold as to say, he's a bit long in the tooth for you.
The relationship is not what you're implying. I've never met him. In fact, I know very little about him at all.
Get me an ale and I'll tell you all about the old sod.
The man is a liability. So do they buy you a drink for this information? The cheek of some people. I'll buy him one. Sometimes you gotta grease some palms, so to speak.
One ale, coming right up.
Thank you very much, Miss Bateman. Then I'll tell you all about old Leonard Shoulder.
But he better have some actual info. I'll say that much. He better have some real info
How
for
can I
me.
help you?
Inside information. Yeah, I like to, I stick with the good cop routine for now. I'll get to the bad cop.
A tankard of your finest ale, Mr. Kemp.
There we are. 2 pence, please.
My money.
Thank you. This was the last of my money, but Kenneth will be here tomorrow.
Can
with
hear
more
the
funds.
froth. It's nothing but head. He didn't even tip the tankard.
Please, Miss Bateman, an ale to wet me whistle. Then I'll tell you all about old Leonard.
He did apologize, right? He did apologize to us for his behavior, but he is also making all these comments that are like, oh, his loss. He's a bit old for you, don't you think?
Here you are, Arthur.
But I'm
Thank
willing to
you.
let that slide.
Oh, that hits the spot, that does, lass. Now then.
Yes.
Old Leonard Shoulder.
Arthur? Mr. Tillett? Oh, for heaven's sake. The man is in a drunken stupor.
Well, these things will happen. Why don't we give him an old hot foot, you know?
That won't wake him up from his drunken stupor.
Oh, I disagree. But have it your way.
Mr. Tillett? He's not dead, just very drunk.
I
hear what he has to say about
happen
Mr.
to know
Shoulder.
from watching several cartoons as a child that if you shove that matchbook between his toes and light it up, he'll definitely wake up. He was wobbling when it came in. But that's the thing. Is he so much of an alcoholic that he is more sober when he's had alcohol than without? When your alcoholism reaches its apex, right? You cross that line where you can't function without alcohol. You need alcohol just to be like that. You need the alcohol to hit your baseline. Otherwise, you got the shakes. You can't focus. You're all over the place. You seem drunker when you're sober. Which is bad. I figure what could it hurt?
I have nothing else to ask for the time being.
Oh, okay.
I do not need to use the lavatory.
All right.
A lovely place to warm oneself. A majestic animal cut down in his prime.
Probably true. This was that way, drunk 12 times a day. Yeah. I've known quite a few individuals, mostly in my family, with heavy drinking problems. Not pleasant.
I should wait here for Mr. Shoulder.
I've been waiting.
Mr. Tillett? He's not dead, just very drunk. I would still
Could be
like to
dead.
hear what he has to say about Mr. Shoulder.
Let's get some water.
This may come in handy.
Let's see if we can wake him up here with this. Do it. Yes.
Oh, what the hell were that for?
You passed out, Mr. Tillett.
Oh, sorry, lass. Where were I? Leonard's Shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Hold on another minute. I'm making for a piss.
He's just gonna slip out the
Man is
window.
Unbelievable.
Oh, you're unbelievable. Just like Varan the unbelievable. He's not coming
Feels
back.
like an hour has passed. Perhaps I should go in there and check on him.
Are we gonna find this man passed out on the can? That seems like
Spateman. My apologies. The ladies are closed due to faulty plumbing. You'll have to use the gents.
oh boy.
Lovely. Mr. Tillett?
What on earth is that sound?
These look modern. I'm surprised. These look modern. I'm surprised.
No, must be some kind of pump.
Mr. Tillett? Mr. Tillett, are you in there?
Just the pipes rattling, they're old. That's some wild rattling. Also, is this just like candles in here? I assume. Just open flames.
Mr. Tillett, are you in there?
Oh! Is that cat limping?
Well,
So-
you're not Mr. Tillett.
I don't know, it could be.
The mangy thing is fast asleep. The jug is empty. The water looks highly questionable. I ought to keep my hands out of it. The mirror is coated in a thick layer of grime.
He might be a werecat. We never know.
The door opens a crack, but appears to be blocked from the other side.
Oh.
I think I can hear someone moving around. Mr. Tillett?
It sounded
Arthur,
wet.
Are you out there? Judging from the draft coming from below, this door must lead outside. I should investigate further.
I didn't like that movement was like a wet. Oh, it was raining outside, so it's just walking around in the mud. So I'm sure it's okay. Maybe his body's against the door. That's usually what it ends up being. Hopefully he's just passed out and not dead.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh. I don't like that.
Sir?
He's out of here. Oh. So the town's rolling up at sundown, apparently. All right, let's get in the alleyway. Let's find out what's going on with this.
A pearly white gent's glove.
Interesting.
Certainly unlike anything Mr. Tillett was wearing.
That's for sure.
Seems rather out of place here. Peculiar.
Catman used power strut, super effective. Say it's what? No, Redhead Boy would not.
Someone's wedged the door shut. Mr. Tillett. Why would he have done that?
To prevent you following him. It was all an elaborate con. It was a ruse.
Did Mr. Tillett leave, then block the door behind him? Something strange is going on here.
Or, right, so that's like the innocent version of this.
I suspect the barrels are empty. Otherwise, the locals would be rolling them into their cellars.
Okay.
Sturdy-looking barrels, no doubt used to store ale. Sturdy-looking barrels, no doubt used to store ale. I suspect the barrels are empty. Otherwise, the locals would be rolling them into their cellars.
I suspect he may be in one of those barrels, but we'll leave it at that. I know they had a light on in here and they turned it off. That guy just like took off.
The old man has disappeared into the darkness. I'd best turn back to the inn.
So,
I don't wish to go knocking door to door.
okay. It could just be a guy scamming us out of a drink. Something could have happened to the guy. There could be something more going on. We don't know. Yeah, well, let's turn it on. That is indeed.
Last orders.
I should get some sleep.
Indeed.
The missing men of Bewley shall have to wait for tomorrow.
Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep.
Indeed. Perhaps a little more time in front of the fire. Dirty man, you saw ankles, you can't contain yourself. Jeez. Told you the town needs sacrifices, irritate them, so it's win-win.
A lovely place to warm oneself.
It is always possible, so that guy left.
Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep.
Yes,
Go to bed.
I must get some sleep. I shall track down Mr. Shoulder tomorrow.
Miss Bateman,
Yes?
off to bed.
Yes. I'm afraid Mr. Shoulder's let me down.
The rotter. Perhaps he will make himself known tomorrow.
I should hope so. This is turning into a waste of my time.
Don't mind the locals, miss. It's just that we don't get a lot of visitors in Bewley.
Quite.
They mean well, believe me.
Sure, Mr.
Do they?
Please, call me Stanley.
Good night, Stanley.
Sleep well, Miss Bateman.
Ah. A nice relaxing thunderstorm. Oh no! Oh, it's just the filthy cat. Aw. Oh. Oh my. The cat's, Rookie mistake. She didn't lock the door. Adventus, the first day. That cat was something, man. That was a very, that was a really weird looking cat. So have any of you ever, like, used in your home or
Such horrid dreams.
gone somewhere where you have, like, the big basin of water and just, like, a jug of water just in your room and that's where you wash yourself in the morning? It's like the close-up we have our friend Mr. Tears. Yeah.
Just as I left it last night.
Oh, it was just a nightmare about the cat.
Suspected. I must have dreamt of that wretched-looking cat. I must say I'm relieved. Right then. Let's see if I can track down the elusive Leonard Shoulder. I'm rather anxious to get to this barrow. I also wonder what happened to Mr. Tillett.
I'm like halfway sure I get what you're laying out there, per Henmo, but not fully.
I've stored my case in
I know enough.
A box within a box.
All right.
A fine white glove, gents style. I found it in the alleyway behind the plough and furrow.
So far, most of what I'm getting is like a Innsmouthy Wicker Man vibe. Somebody remember Discord, nobody laughed, which y'all have a terrible sense of humor. I don't know, I'm hardly ever on Discord, which is why I haven't set up a Discord yet, because I'm hardly ever in there. Let's challenge him to a duel. Pistols at dawn.
Do you recognize this glove?
I can't say I do. I don't wear them. They make me hands sweat too much.
Never mind.
Understandable.
Did you sleep well, Miss Bateman?
Tell him about that cat.
Not really. I have the rather queer recollection of a cat entering my room last night.
A cat, you say?
Yes, an odd-looking grey one. I must have been dreaming, as I locked the door and windows before I went to sleep. I saw a similar cat in the lavatories while searching for Mr. Tillett.
Ah, Herbert.
Oh.
He's a harmless thing. He comes in now and then searching for scraps.
Indeed. Seeing him in the lavatories must have conjured up the strange dream.
The mind is capable of manifesting frightful things, Miss Bateman. I'm happy to report the rain of yesterday has lifted. It's a clear morning outside.
Excellent.
Crisp. I've prepared a room for your assistant. What time will he be arriving today?
His train will get in around midday. Kenneth will also be bringing my excavation equipment.
Oh, aye. What does that entail?
Picks, shovels, buckets, lighting and such. He usually packs it in a large crate. Come to think of it, I'll need somewhere to store it.
You're welcome to use the alley behind the inn for any such bulky items.
Yeah. Sounds capital, thank you. I don't see what the alternative is. I question if that's safe. I'm sure I'll say it is.
Do such a thing?
I can assure you the local folk are not thieves, Miss Bateman.
That's not what I...
Now, say nothing more of it.
Thank you, Stanley.
I'll let you get on with your day.
I'll be back with my assistant when he arrives.
All right.
Yes?
I've something I wish to get off my chest, as it were.
Oh?
I've been tossing and turning all night, Miss Bateman. I feel rotten, I really do.
What on earth are you talking about?
As you know, I like to run an honest establishment. And well, I have not been honest with you.
Ooh.
I do know of Hobbs Barrow.
Oh, he was lying.
You do?
I do. Many here do. There are stories tied to that place, you know. If I've learned anything in this life, it's that some stones are best left unturned. Old Leonard Shoulder is someone to be wary of too. I can't tell you what to do, lass, but you'd best avoid him.
Why lie to me about Hobbs Barrow?
I know, lass, I know. I feel dreadful.
But why? What are these stories you speak of?
I really
What's up, Dum Jum?
can't tell you more.
Welcome in.
Insist on visiting that
Can you
place,
dig it?
you'll have to
Yes,
seek
I
out
can.
Mr. Shoulder. He brought you here. He should be the one to tell you.
I must say, Mr. Kemp, this is all quite puzzling.
It is
I've never
puzzling.
let local superstitions stop me in the past. I pride myself on being a woman of logic and reason. I've no time to waste on such matters.
As I say, seek out Mr. Shoulder. He can tell you more.
Okie dokie. It's going yeah. So far so good. We got scammed out of some booze by a local drunk. We met a gross looking cat, and generally get a weird unfriendly vibe from this small village.
Why
But
must I
we're
be
just
wary of
getting
Mr.
started.
Shoulder?
The man has a certain reputation.
For what?
You've seen it already. Were he here to meet you last night?
No.
Precisely.
Hmm.
A man not to be trusted.
Where is Hobbs Barrow?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I say that on my mother's grave, Miss Bateman.
I now find that hard to believe.
The moors are vast, lass. I'd tend not to go wandering out there.
Okay.
A grown man could lose himself and not be seen again.
Where does Mr. Shoulder live?
I can't say for sure. As I think I told you last night, he's a quiet man and keeps to himself. He only comes in here to collect his post. Leads me to believe he lives a fair distance away. Certainly not in the village itself.
Might someone around Bewley be able to help me find him?
You could ask around.
Okay.
As I say, lass, Bewley folk mean well. Don't forget that.
I shall return later.
Good day to you, lass.
So he didn't know about it, but then actually he lied and he did know about it. And it's got a bad reputation, but he doesn't actually know where it is, just that it's around somewhere.
It seems I may be fighting a battle against some sort of local superstition. Is there a single barrow in England that doesn't have some ghastly tale attached to it? Hogwash. All of it. A
And
few hours until Kenneth arrives. I should use this time to find Mr. Shoulder.
but also, like, Mr. Shoulder is untrustworthy, but he doesn't really know him, or he doesn't know where he lives, and he's not sure if he lives in the village at all, and he doesn't really talk to him, and he only comes in to get his mail. There's a lot of contradictory statements going on there.
Hello. My name is Thomasina, and you are...
Now then, that's none of your concern, love.
Oh, okay. This is fair
You
enough.
know a man named Leonard Shoulder.
I don't know out about no Leonard Shoulder.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Hobbs Barrow?
Not to be found digging around in those things.
You know of local barrows, then?
Don't concern yourself.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Not much around here, love. Not worth mentioning to you, like.
I see. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
These flowers look pretty. Someone must take good care of them.
Interesting. Let's check back with the alley.
I suspect the barrels are empty. Otherwise, the locals would be rolling them into their cellars.
Flies rolling about.
I could tether a horse here if I had one.
Good to know.
I can't reach the window from down here.
Well, but if I stacked the barrels up there, I could. All right. Where's a map? Okay, interesting. that shot, the default image there, very creepy, very weird. I feel like we're not going to get much Daggerfall horse gameplay. I wonder. Oh! Hello there, child.
Hello.
Yes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Douglas?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Douglas.
Don't worry. I'm not like those other strangers. I have candy.
That's a great sword technique you have.
Thanks, miss. Mr. Crozier's gonna make me a real one when I turn 12. I'm preparing myself
Oh, wow.
to fight the lantern worm.
Who's gonna fight the Lambton Worm? That's exciting. Look who more demon haunts this place. I've encountered many demons within the Barrows.
What is the Lambton worm?
It's gonna come back and get us all. John Lambton thought he killed it at the River Ware, but my father told me it still lives. We must all be prepared.
The Lambton worm isn't real, Douglas.
I'll be the judge of
Father
that.
just told you that to get you out of his hair.
Not true. I saw it slithering out by the beck, like a giant eel it were.
Ooh.
I went home so fast I thought I would fly.
Sorry, miss. My brother has a vivid imagination.
Children often do at his age.
I'll keep training. You will all thank me when I thrust my sword deep into its fat belly.
Douglas, this lady doesn't want to hear your nonsense.
I like Douglas. The child, we should ask how many teeth it has as long as yes. I need an accurate description. Douglas,
Do you like
tell me
living
everything you know.
Yeah, I do. Are you from the city?
I'm from a long way away.
You must have come on the train. I love watching all the steam puff up into the sky.
Have you been on the train yourself?
No, miss. Our parents don't have the money for train tickets. Father says we have all we need here in Bewley.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps this nice lady would like to take you away with her on the train.
Oh.
No, I need to stay and protect Bewley from the Lambton worm.
Yeah, we can't take him away from his sworn duty to slay the worm.
Do you know a man called Leonard Shoulder?
I needed his worm slaying skills on my side.
Have you heard of Hobbs Barrow?
What's that?
A local burial mound.
Our parents don't let us wander far from the village.
What's a burial mound?
I don't think she's the one doing
About
the
that,
slaying.
Douglas?
It's just Douglas with a sword. Gonna do a lot of chopping and stabbing. If you want to get chopped and stabbed by a sword, you know, that's not for me to judge, I guess.
Who's Mr. Crozier?
He's a blacksmith. His forge is just over there on the other side of the square.
Don't you think 12 years of age is a little young for a real sword?
I'll be a master swordsman by then.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, miss.
We need to protect Douglas from the eel demon. No, wait, we need Douglas to protect us from the eel demon.
Quite an ornate construction. This was created with pride and care.
I don't think it has to do much with that, Perhedmo, as much as literally being stabbed and chopped with a sword. No euphemisms there. Just being stabbed and chopped up and beheaded, disemboweled and the like. All that sort of business. I can have most of the town. No. Douglas would never forgive himself if it ate most of the town. Let's be
small
real.
plaque beside the door reads Vicarage.
The vicarage, eh? Chucked
I don't
into the
think anyone is
bowels.
home.
You're really putting in the work to like
The door has been boarded up.
twist and turn that around.
A ruin.
This puts you with the watermelon bread mo. You just watch out, Silas. He'll find some way to turn that around into something.
No one here. The sign is in a shabby state.
It's the cobblers. The
shop
cobblers.
appears to be a cobbler's.
I want to check out the old church. Looks suitably
I don't
old
think
and
anyone is
interesting.
home.
Okay.
This must belong to someone. I should leave it alone. The bucket is rusty and full of holes.
I'll take it. I want it. Free stuff.
Good day.
Yes?
Mr. Crozier, I presume.
Aye, George Crozier, at your service.
Oh my god. And Mo.
My name is Thomasina.
Aye, can I help you?
Who's Pastor Eel Child? I hope not.
Are you a Bewley native, Mr. Crozier?
Aye, born and bred. That's where my father's forge before mine.
Now the family business, eh?
How is business faring?
I do an honest trade.
There'll always be horses needing shoes and farmers needing tools. You let me know if you need out made or mended. I'll do you a fair price.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Do you know a man by the name of Leonard Shoulder?
Oh, aye. Old Leonard.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not recently.
Do you know where he lives?
Why all these questions, lass?
I need to speak with him. He invited me to Bewley.
Oh, he'll turn up. I've seen him in the plough and furrow from time to time.
But do you know where he lives? I need to find him.
I believe he lives somewhere out on the moors.
Ah.
Can't tell you out more than that.
Thank you, Mr.
The
Crozier.
pity for my behavior. I don't know if that's fair, but I'll take your word for
Do you
it.
know of a local landmark named Hobbs Barrow?
There's a fair many barrows.
Almost
found
done with
out
it.
on
Woke
the
up no
moors,
pain and
lass.
pressure.
Too
Almost
many
there.
to put a name to.
I hope so.
The soul in Bewley pays them any mind.
For all of our sakes. I hope that your troubles are soon ended.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
We don't get many visitors here.
That's
Outside
about
of
HP and they get
market
evasive. They sure
days.
do.
Plenty of work for the village blacksmith. Where are you from then?
I arrived yesterday on the train from London, by way of Derby.
Oh, aye. I've heard about London.
What have you heard?
Plenty of factories there.
Yes, indeed. The city is always changing and moving forward.
Too busy for me, though, lass. I prefer a quieter pace. Aye.
When
Indeed.
do market days run in Bewley?
Once or twice a month. The next one is tomorrow.
Oh,
How
what luck.
delightful.
Unless your vice is cabbages, there'll be naught to interest a young lady.
I do like a
Mind
cabbage.
Then you're in luck.
Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Like this. We're in the same wavelength here. Cabbages are just fine. Cabbages are great. Don't be dissing on cabbages, my man.
A fantastic specimen. Alas, it is not mine to take.
It could be.
I didn't come to Bewley to sweep their streets.
You say that now.
I have one just like this.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the church. Oh. It's memorial plaques. Trowel. Can I take it?
Excuse me, do you think anyone would mind if I borrowed this trowel?
You help yourself, dear. Father Roach won't mind lending it. Just be sure to put
Wait.
it back when you're finished.
Of course, thank you.
It is more blessed to give than to receive.
I may need to stab somebody. I'm not sure. Father Roach isn't Papa Roach? They can't possibly have been making a Papa Roach reference. Never know. Has to put in a good word for the EO cult. I want a good word with the EO cult.
In memory of Romeo Hegg, dearly missed by his beloved Juliet.
Hmm.
In memory of Percival Roach.
Huh.
In memory of Barnaby Tillett.
Huh.
In memory of George Paxton.
What's up, Chaos? Welcome in.
In memory of Peter Black. In memory of Barnaby Tillett.
So which Tillett is it? Is that how does he relate to the Mr. Tillett we dealt with last
In
night?
memory of Romeo Hegg.
No, not that
dearly
one.
missed by his beloved Juliet. In memory of Percival Roach.
And how is Father Roach related to Percival Roach?
In memory of Henry Crozier.
These must
In
be their
memory
fathers, I
of
guess.
Millicent Smith.
Or they're
In
ghost
memory
people.
Of Benjamin Garkham. In memory of Mabel Hurst.
Feeling pretty good, pretty good. Better than yesterday. Much better than yesterday. It was a rough day yesterday, but things are okay today.
In memory of Peter Black.
So far, so good.
Hello. Good day. Would you like to buy one of
I still feel
these
kind of tired, but
cakes, pet?
cakes, eh? What kind of cakes? Worship the old god and bury their old identities so they can have eternal youth.
What kind of cakes do you have?
Suspicious.
I have some lovely Bakewell puddings. The sweetest marriage of almond and jam.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you're not from around here, because if you were, you would know about my Bakewell puddings. They are quite famous.
Alas, I'm not carrying any money with me.
That's unfortunate, pet. I'm sorry. I can't give them away for free. The money goes to the church, you see, and one cannot shirk one's duty to the church.
I understand.
What about it was better to give than to receive? Wouldn't it be better to give me the cakes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
I'd like some pudding.
A pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Duplancy.
Likewise, pet.
Do you know a local man called Leonard Shoulder?
No, I'm hungry for cakes.
Yes, I know Leonard.
It's big eel puddings.
With him?
It's a long story, but I'm trying to find where
We're not on Eel Town yet.
I'm afraid I don't know, dear. Father Roach
Can't shirk
has
your duties
access
to
to the
eel.
parish register. He might be able to help you.
Now I can go talk to Papa Roach here. What can you tell me about
What can
Father
you tell
Roach?
me about Father Roach?
He is a lovely man and an exemplary servant of the Lord. He's been the vicar of St. Edmunds for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Where can I find Father Roach?
Where can I find that dog?
He'll be taking his exercise in Herne Wood, to the west of the village.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll go find him.
Be sure to listen out for his merry whistling. Such a jolly man.
Delightful.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
Tell me.
Hobbs what?
Hobbs Barrow, a local burial mound.
The only place of burial I know about and care for is in this very churchyard.
Something about your cakes again.
Your cakes look delicious.
I can assure you they are. You'll not find better in the entire county.
Give me the
Tell me about
cakes.
yourself, Mrs. Duplancy.
About me?
You gotta go dig for money to
What
get those
would you
cakes.
possibly want to know about me?
Just an innocent pudding discussion. I don't
attending
believe you.
St. Edmund's Church my whole life. I always want to help where I can, so I sell my baked goods, and all the proceeds go to its upkeep. This place means so much to me.
What can you tell me about St. Edmund's Church?
Isn't it the finest building? It's been standing here since the 12th century. The box pews in the nave are very fine and date back to the 17th century. The door is open if you'd like to worship.
Thank you, Mrs. Duplancy.
Well,
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
we might as well. We're here. We might as well check it out.
Goodness me, look at these box pews. I've never seen any as tall as that before. Most unusual architecture, even for the Normans.
Left parishioner of the eel god is all. I'm a faithful servant of the eel. Never mind what George said. The eel's okay. Flowers. Necklace, take it.
Locked. Locked as well. I think they all might be. Is that a necklace? Someone has left a necklace hanging here. A silver cross. Sterling by the look of it.
That's
Maybe
right,
I
pocket
can
that.
reunite it with its owner.
Maybe I can
The flowers have long since dried out.
use
I
it
don't
to
want
get
them.
some cakes.
A memorial list of former vicars. They stretch back several hundred years. A memorial list of former vicars. They stretch back several hundred years.
Whose name's on it, though? How many of them are named Roach? That's my question.
I can admire the craftsmanship from afar.
Well, you can get
Stained
closer.
glass depictions of various biblical scenes. It's not my specialist area.
Oh, okay.
I've no time for such things. This
Well,
must be
it's
where the
worth
local
checking
vicar
out.
sacrifices the newborns.
What?
This must be where the local vicar sacrifices the newborns.
I assume that's a joke.
Extraordinary craftsmanship.
Right?
This must be where the local vicar sacrifices the newborns.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
It's locked.
Aha. I hear him. Wow, he looks crazy. Oh. Oh no. Oh. What have I walked into? What? What's... Oh, oh. Oh, nice. Oh, my. Oh, dear.
Very sorry. Oh, the shame. This malaise will not pass. Oh, the nausea. I need your help, young lady.
Tell me what you need.
Let the blood from my arm.
What?
Excuse me?
Got me. I beg you.
Okay. Well, I got nothing but a,
The trowel's blade is dull and rusted. I need something that will provide a cleaner cut.
Okay.
Are you sure this is the only way, Father?
I beg you. It's the only cure for this torturous malady.
All right, we just gotta get some blood out of him. Don't walk in the puke.
Ouch! The broken lens is extremely sharp.
Hey, perfect.
Ouch!
What?
The broken lens is extremely sharp.
Why don't we just use the glove?
Perhaps I shouldn't risk soiling this glove until
No!
I find its owner.
Handkerchief?
This handkerchief was a gift from my mother. I hope she will understand.
Yes.
This should work.
All right. Time to let the blood out.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yes, it will cure me of my ills.
I shall do as you ask, Father.
Stick him. It's not a lot of blood. Some kind of reverse vampire.
Thank the Lord for my spare pair.
Ah,
God bless you. I already feel quite better.
I'm glad, Father.
oh my.
The rapid healing properties of bloodletting cannot be overstated. I'm Frederick Roach, vicar of
Oh,
St.
no.
Edward's Church.
My name is Thomasina Bateman. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, yeah, just the truth. The blood will flow at a slow drip. Exactly. I need to go find some leeches that'll fix him straight up. Some good, just a little good old bloodletting. What are his illnesses that draining himself of the ill humors will work wonders on him? It can't be good, whatever it is.
Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
What ails you, Father Roach?
Yes.
I just ate a rotten berry, that's all.
Oh,
I
that's
like to pick blackberries for my supper, you see. They are quite delicious, as long as you mind the bramble. My apologies again. I wish we had met in different circumstances.
okay. So, well, I don't buy that at all. Like, they definitely sounded like a made-up story, but also like, I mean, bloodletting doesn't really solve much of anything, really. But like, oh, I ate a rotten berry. I need you to slice my arm open.
Are you from Bewley originally?
Very strange.
I was born in our very own St. Edmunds. It's quite the story.
Do tell.
My mother was sheltering there as a frightful tempest raged.
Uh-huh.
And lo, did her waters break right there and then in that pew.
Let's see how strong and the thicker.
Your role, Father.
Indeed. When my mother told me the story as a young boy, I knew that this was my calling.
Fair enough.
I'm looking for Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, yes? Are you a relative?
No, it's a long story, but he invited me to Bewley.
And he didn't tell you his address?
He was to meet me last night at the Plough and Furrow, but he never came.
I see. Well, let me welcome you to Bewley on his behalf.
Thank you, Father. Do you know where Mr. Shoulder lives?
Let me think. It's been many moons since I've paid him a visit.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps you could allow me to take a look at the parish register.
No need. I remember it now.
Oh,
A fair hike across the moors.
suspicious.
Could you please give me directions?
I'll take you there myself. It's the least I can do after you aided me so.
Capital. Thank you.
Just let
Let me
know
thank
when
you
you're
for
ready to
stabbing
pay
me.
him a visit. I'll be resting here for the time being.
Tell
Do
me
you
about the
know of
Barrow.
Hobbs Barrow?
I can't say I've heard of it.
It's supposedly a famous local landmark.
I'm afraid I know nothing about it.
I don't believe any of these people.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
It's a quiet town. The railway line, which I presume you arrived by, is the only news of note we've had here for years.
Okay.
I've heard the new station has received a mixed reaction.
I've heard many a debate, it's true. But my role is not to adjudicate on that matter. I'm very busy in my own work, you see.
Church does not endorse pagan barrows. Yeah. They're just lying.
St.
There's
Edmunds
something
is a
afoot
fine
here.
Building.
Thank you for saying so. It's hard work keeping her in good shape, but our congregation is always willing to lend a hand in the Lord's name.
What is it like being the vicar here?
Every day is a blessing, my child.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great love for our parish, and the Lord looks after us.
What about your congregation?
Numbers have fallen over the years, I must say. But those that remain are faithful and full of His Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
See if he knows anything about this.
I found this necklace inside the church. Do you know who it belongs to?
Many in our congregation wear such things. I'll announce it at the next service.
Do you mind if I keep hold of it until then?
Not at all.
Okay. What about this glove?
Do you recognize this glove?
Fine stitching indeed. An item of some considerable taste.
Indeed.
But I'm afraid I don't recognize it.
Bah.
Why do you ask?
Never mind.
Okay. Let's keep checking stuff out for a little bit. We'll make our way downtown.
I have
Oh.
no desire to go rooting about in there. No doubt home to many a woodland creature.
I mean, you never know. You never know. You might find some treasure there.
I'll see you later this evening, gents. Well, I say. Greetings, my dear.
Hello, sir.
A pause on your beauty, for I shall see you again soon.
Wait.
What? Where are you going? What?
Some nerve.
Lady, you're blushing.
I most certainly am not.
What? All right.
Sorry, lass. No way through here today.
Oh, okay.
Says who?
Lord Panswick. Now get back before you find yourself under a falling tree.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that just opened up a whole lot of questions. The arrogant man.
My name is Thomasina Bateman.
Oh, aye? You're not from round here, Thomasina Bateman.
No, just visiting. What is your name, sir?
Horace.
Are you in charge here?
I am indeed.
Tell me, who was that arrogant man here just now?
Just someone passing by.
It sounded like you knew him better than that.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's none of your business.
Yep. That's like everything. Everything that's going on. Everything in this place. Hey, how are you doing? None of your business.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing?
We're very private around here. We don't
There's
like
no
to
need
talk
to be
to no
sarcastic.
outsiders.
We're employed by Lord Panswick. He's ordered us to gather logs from his woods. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Who's Lord Panswick?
Our governor.
He's the governor of the whole town.
All right, Owen, back to work now.
He lives in Bewley.
Aye, not far away. But his lordship doesn't like questions. Or visitors. Now, please leave us to our work.
No, I have more questions.
These are his woods.
Aye, his lordship owns most of the land round Bewley.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No, I don't. Can you let me get back to my work now?
No, I can't.
Have you heard of a place called Hobbs Barrow?
Can't say I have.
Why are you gathering logs for Lord Panswick?
By heck, you ask a lot of questions.
Yes, I
You
do.
must know his lordship is repairing an old ruin on his land. We need the timber for the restoration work.
How intriguing. What type of ruin is Lord Panswick restoring?
An old chapel.
I'm getting. This man's
like
gonna
to see
ask
it.
me.
Not possible. His lordship does not welcome visitors to his estate.
Thanks for your time.
We'll be done by tomorrow morning. Come back then if you want to explore the woods.
All right. Cool. Oh, I saw that.
I've no desire to go rooting about in there.
A nice little critter. Hello, hello, critter. Hello, creature. Okay. Well, I guess that's that. We had several areas we can go to. Should have asked her about the cross when I was here earlier. Not that I expect her to have much more information for me. Maybe I can trade for
Excuse
some
me.
cakes.
I found this necklace inside the church. Is it yours?
No, Pet. Perhaps someone left it behind yesterday. You keep hold of it for now. I'll ask around at the next service.
Are you sure?
I trust you.
Okay. I don't.
Samuel Bryden. Death is only a shadow across the path to heaven.
Uh-huh. Oh, a fresh grave.
This appears to be a recently dug, unmarked grave.
Why don't we dig it up?
I may be a barrow digger, but I am no grave robber.
Damn it!
Here lies
Just curious.
Margaret Tillett, beloved mother, wife, and sister.
Hmm.
Today she dances with angels. John Purchase, dearly beloved husband of Florence.
There was an attempt. There was indeed. Oh, my connection is flipping out a little bit right now. It's about time. I took a little break, so I'm going to take a quick break. You may see the stream die for a minute. It may stabilize while I'm doing my thing. If not, I'll give it a restart. But I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right. So just to make sure I can chewing on the wires again. I think it's just the rain. Like I was saying earlier, usually causes me some grief. Not always, though. Not too terrible. So I have a feeling I could streamline a lot of this and just blast through, but I want to take my time and see the sights, see what there is to see here. And who knows, this information may come in handy earlier or later. Not earlier. Welcome back. Thank you.
John Purchase, dearly beloved husband of Florence.
All right, we got like,
Here
Tillet.
lies Margaret Tillet, beloved mother, wife, and sister. Today she dances with angels.
There's a memorial plaque out there for a Tillet. There's a Tillet here, which makes sense if you're an old family, right? You would have people in there. But
Joseph Davis.
I think partially my thought process is being influenced by
Elizabeth Farnaby.
A podcast I listened to, Don't Mind Cruxmount, which was like this, like someone goes to a remote English countryside village looking for their brother, and everyone in town is very unfriendly to outsiders, and they harbor a terrible dark secret. And every time I'm like looking at these names and stuff, like it's lining up in my head, probably incorrectly, with the plot of that podcast. I do recommend that podcast. It was very entertaining. Don't mind Cruxmont. It's not super long. It's an episodic thing. It's like a horror story thing. It was very good. Very good. I really enjoyed it.
William Paxton, modest and gentle of heart.
Oh, this is nice. A nice view of the flatlands here. Nice calming tones. Nice wind blowing by. No more summer days here, though. We're deep in the fall now. In the cold and the rain. Sometimes it's nice to get away from it all. Just go out and enjoy the countryside. Nice quiet day. It's a bit eerie to me. Calming but eerie. It is. It is. It's a sort of like razor's edge of calm versus eerie. Like it can be very calm and relaxing, but once you start thinking about it, this is how I feel anytime I spend a significant, and I do spend a significant portion of time in an empty home, just kind of staring into space, working on stuff, thinking about stuff, and it's fine until I start thinking about like. So the anxious thoughts start coming in. And that's when I start seeing the things out of my corner of my eye and things start getting real creepy. That's what this feels like. Because of the dreary moors. Yeah, it's very, very flat. I mean, at least there's some color with the flowers there. What's this plaque?
Margaret's Lookout. I wonder who Margaret is, or was.
Who indeed? Let's say like there's a lot to look at here, which I find interesting. Some of it may get really, some of it may not be. When I like how quickly they walk. Whoop! When it's that, vertically. It's very fun. Oh, there's a ring of mushrooms, the fairy circle. Which, if you're a fan of Dungeon Meshi, you'll know is dangerous because that's where the shapeshifters are.
Touch them. They could be poisonous.
They could be delicious. The world may never know. Do I still have my... I was just wondering if I still had my chunk of broken glass.
The moors stretch into the distance. I don't wish to wander aimlessly.
That is a correct sentiment, I believe. The fairy circle is doom. It is indeed. All right. Well, let's get back on the hunt for Mr. Shoulder, Leonard Shoulder. This is just the town we were already in. Yep, that's just the village. Okay. Getting a sense of it there. All right, let's go.
I'm ready to go to Mr. Shoulder's house.
Excellent. I feel the fresh air will do me well. Follow me.
I could stab you some more if you think it would help. Nothing like blood loss and a long constitutional for what ails you. Nothing makes me want to take a nice long walk in nature like a big slice in my arm.
Good morning, Father.
Buy me a cake,
Good morning,
Father.
Mrs. Duplancy. Mrs. Duplancy, this is Thomasina Bateman, a visitor to our parish.
We've already had the pleasure of meeting, Father.
Excellent. Miss Bateman, don't hesitate to try one of Mrs. Duplancy's wonderful cakes.
Yes, I've heard about her famous Bakewell puddings.
I'll be here all day, young lady. But remember, once they're gone, they're gone.
I know she's trying to get me with the promo.
Popes have already gobbled up all the gingerbread.
You are doing God's work, Mrs. Duplancy.
He smiles upon us, Father.
Miss Bateman, if you'd like to follow me. Let's talk of graves, of worms, and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes, write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills.
Shakespeare?
Quite. Which play?
Oh boy. Anybody know? I don't remember. I feel like Hamlet or Macbeth would be like the obvious choice. Richard II. That was my thinking. Not based on knowledge, but just based on what I know about Hamlet and Macbeth. I definitely can remember more Hamlet or Macbeth than Richard II.
Richard II?
Correct.
Hey!
Well read, Miss Bateman. Studying the work of the bard is one of my favorite pastimes. Follow me.
Yeah, it was more like a process of elimination than real knowledge. Except for Silas. Silas had the info. Appreciate that.
The vast expanse of God's creation. The moors extend as far as the mortal eye can see.
They sure do.
Is it not?
Indeed, the moors are beautiful. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Watched an LP and got it from them. Whoa, you fraud! No, I'm just kidding. I figured as much because I know you said you had watched it before, but I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Either way is fine. Wherever the knowledge comes from, it's all the same to me. I certainly didn't remember. It just didn't seem like something from either Hamlet or Macbeth. I didn't really recognize it, and I don't think I've read Richard II. I'm not familiar with it, so that was my thought. At any rate, I find them rather desolate. I do find them rather desolate.
I find them rather desolate.
Really? I disagree. The beauty of God's creation is that it takes so many forms.
Like a transformer.
How can one take in such a view and not have faith? Some look at these moors and think this a godless land. But I tell you, he is found in all domains. The Lord's work is all about us.
Like how? Like,
tell me, Miss Bateman, do you believe in God?
Like some Transformers are like Optimus Prime, like a really cool truck with a trailer that folds out and it's got another little robot, like an arm inside of it, right? But then some Transformers are like a lighter or a wristwatch. And those are like a lot less exciting. But they take many forms. That's what I'm getting from this. This is music. This is good. How did you hear about this? I don't remember. I think because I play a fair amount of like point and click adventure games, and so I try and keep my eye out on new stuff, or because I search for it, it comes up a lot. It gets recommended to me in various channels. It was this and the case of the Golden Idol, which I think came out around in the same year. I think this is a couple years old now. So I had them on my list for a while. I picked them up a while ago when they were on sale, which I've said this before. I'm loath to admit, it's like, I don't exclusively get stuff when it's on sale. Sometimes like I really want something, like I really want to play this and it's not on sale today, I'll buy it. But like, there's a lot of games that I'm like, yeah, I've got a lot of games already, I don't know. And then it goes on sale. I'm like, well, that was my chance. So this didn't get recommended to me by, I don't believe any individual. I think it was just, it was either like just looking at Steam and it's saying like, based on your interest, we recommend these games, or some website review. Just open up Chrome on my phone, and it gives me suggestion pages, suggestions. And I think it came up on a story about this. Which is how I like it. I like hearing about games from other people, but sometimes just a serendipitous, like random encounter is good too. Tell the truth, Father Roach seems prepared to hear it. Lie, you may want to avoid a tense situation. I don't think it's best to lie. She doesn't strike me as the type of individual, either for myself, I wouldn't want to lie about it, and for the character of Thomasina, I don't think she strikes me as the kind of individual that would shy away from these kind of questions.
Anglican. The church was an important part of my early life, Father Roach. But what happened to my father eventually made me question things.
If you don't mind me asking, my child, what happened to your father?
He had an accident when I was very young.
Ooh, the flashback. Oh my.
Come along now, Thomasina. Let's get out of the rain. Remember what I told you, all right? Be a good girl. People are unwell here. They don't want to hear you running about making noise. Understood?
Yes, Mother.
Got it.
And don't annoy the nurses.
I promise I won't.
Good. Now, let's see your father.
Oh my, he's been hospitalized for quite some time then. Oh dear.
Daddy, wake up! Daddy, wake up!
Oh my.
Mummy? Mummy?
Oh.
Good evening, Mr. Bateman. Hello, little one. You must be Thomasina?
Yes.
That's
My name is Nurse Blaketon. I just need to talk to your mummy for a little bit. I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Bateman. Mrs. Bateman?
Will he ever talk again, Nurse Blaketon?
The doctor is uncertain, Mrs. Bateman. There is the possibility that Mr. Bateman won't regain any movement at all.
Oh no.
But we will do our utmost to look after Mr. Bateman here at Ticehurst, ma'am. He will have a nurse by his side at all times, I can assure you.
Oh.
What sort of god would allow
Yikes.
this fate to befall such a kind and honest man?
I'm sorry to hear this. God moves in mysterious ways, but he loves us all. Come along now.
Look, I don't want to get into like a religious debate, but at least in fiction, in media, nobody ever says that when something good happens. It's only when bad stuff happens.
She scampered off in a hurry. Who was that?
Some primitive folk make their home out on the moors. I suggest you keep your wits about you when you are exploring.
Primitive
Don't stray
folk,
too
eh?
far from Bewley.
I see. How much farther to Mr. Shoulder's house?
Still quite a walk, I'm afraid. But we'll get to him soon enough.
Oh.
Now then,
I was
take a
buffering
look at
this
this.
back. Damn you, internet.
Legend has it that this cairn has stood here for over 1,000 years.
How remarkable.
The Devil's Toe.
Oh?
I beg your pardon?
That's what it's called. The Devil's Toe.
Oh my.
I see.
Come now. Onward.
Come now. Come now. Okay. Give this a second, see if it comes back a little bit. Its connection speed is improving, but it's still real flaky. Well, let's try and get through this bit of dialogue to a point where I'm free moving again and I can feel more comfortable saving it. But I'm probably going to have to call it early this evening because the connection does not want to cooperate, which does happen sometimes, unfortunately. Like it's trying to stabilize, but it's having trouble catching up, so.
All the while, Father Roach was whistling away merrily.
The data will get to you eventually, unfortunately.
Just as I had begun to wonder if we were hopelessly lost, a building emerged from the mist.
This is very, like, tense, foreboding music.
Mr. Shoulder's cottage.
Here we are, Miss Bateman. Unless my memory fails me completely, this is Mr. Leonard Shoulder's house.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
Now. No need to thank me after your providential assistance today.
Uh-huh.
However, I have something to ask you.
Yeah.
Please don't tell Mrs. Duplancy about my little scene in the woods. She will only fret. The poor dear woman has enough on her mind as it is.
Oh, okay.
Mention it.
Thank you. You'd better see if Mr. Shoulder is in.
Okay, I will. Finding Shoulder. Let's see. I don't like that. Okay. All right. Well, unfortunately, it looks like my internet